from Dick Van Dyke, the first woman to ever wear pants on television. The first woman to ever wear pants on television. But she not only slept in a separate bed from her husband, but she also was not allowed to dance, the thing that she wanted to do most. They hindered her, they stopped her because she didn't have permission. Move on to the 70s, 1970, Bewitched, I Dream a Genie. Now, they got a little sexier, but these were women that were what? Serving their master. And that's when we start seeing witchcraft and that kind of thing being introduced, and we accepted it because it was the norm on television. Let's look at Mary Tyler Moore. This was a woman that finally had her independence. She was going to be the wonderful woman that had the career and everything else, but actually, she taught us that we couldn't have it all because she wasn't married, she didn't have a family, and she had a hard time even in her job. Then you move into Three's Company and Charlie's Angels and those kind of things. This brought in the sexy symbol of women and that whatever goes just goes. So now we start seeing how things were almost loose, if you will, in television. But these were the symbols we were looking at. And then there was Good Times. Florida Evans. But what did Florida represent? She was broke, she was tired, she was always fixing everybody else's problem. She finally got out of the ghetto, but we didn't even see that. Then we had Wheezy, and then you had Alice. They both lived in a high-rise. They were moving on up, but most of us couldn't identify with either one of them. So it was there, but we couldn't quite grasp it. We didn't have permission to be that. And then you had Nell, Give Me a Break. Y'all remember that? Nell Carter, Give Me a Break. This was a overweight, unhealthy African-American woman taking care of 3 white kids who lived with who? The Popo. She had to have permission to do everything, right? Still the image we saw in the, say, 70s. Now you moved on to Murphy Brown, and then you had Roseanne, Ellen DeGeneres. You had Vivian from The Fresh Prince. She had the money, she had the look. But how many of us really identified with where she was? And yes, we had Oprah. We all love Oprah. Oprah revolutionized women and how we thought and what was going on. You had Claire from the Huxtables. A little bit more identification. You know, that was where I could sort of see a woman that had a career and a family and was doing it all and looked good. But now, what are we saying to this generation? Have y'all thought about it? What you're watching? Thursday night, Olivia Pope. Scandal. Who does she represent? The light-skinned slave in the master's White House. She's his concubine. She's the side piece. And we accept it. We tweet about it. We own that because we love Olivia Pope. Mary Jane. Lord, I'm not even gonna go there. And then, of course, the all-time favorite right now is Cookie. Cookie from Empire. What are we saying to our women? This woman has killed, still destroyed, and all for an empire of money and fame. But what are we saying? She said, I did it in love for my family, right? So the images that we are seeing, don't get it twisted. I want you to recognize where you've been told no, that you haven't been given permission. The things that God would have for you, he said, don't look at what you see. Some of it's television, y'all. Some of the things that have perpetuated, society has given the stereotypes, the limitations through TV, through music, through social media.